About 6 months ago, I made a video on how much it costs to build a pool pond, and as some of you may know, I've made quite a lot of changes to the pool pond over the past 6 months. So I wanted to make a new video which goes over the total that I've spent on building my pool pond up until today. If you are interested in building a pool pond like mine, most of this stuff I've bought on Amazon. I'll go ahead and put the Amazon links down in the description of this video if you want to check those out. There will be some things which will just be easier to buy at your local hardware store, and I'll let you guys know what those things are. And of course, you don't have to build your pool pond exactly how I built mine. You might even be able to build yours a little cheaper than I built mine, but in this video I want to go over exactly what I spent to build my pool pond the way it is. And if this video helps you out, or if you do like this video, I would really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much, and if you would like to see more videos by me in the future, make sure to go down there and hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell notifications button, and let's get right into it. So like I mentioned earlier, about 6 months ago, I did make a video on the cost of building a pool pond like mine. So I'm just gonna go over the items that I included in that video. I'll go ahead and link that video down in the description in case you want to see this information in greater detail. But the items that I included in that video were the actual pool itself, the pond pump, the Tetra waterfall pond filter, 1 bag of lava rocks for the pond filter, stainless steel hose clamps, some water lilies that I bought from a local pond store, a plastic container that I bought from Target for about $5, some Tetra pond tubing, a 55-watt UV clarifier by the brand Jabao, netting to go over my pond, metal clamps to hold my pond netting in place, and a heron decoy, and 7 bags of river pebbles. As for the actual pool itself, the pond pump, the Tetra waterfall pond filter, the Tetra pond tubing, the 55-watt Jabao UV clarifier, and the metal clamps for the pond netting. You can buy all of that stuff on Amazon, and I'll go ahead and put the links to all of those down in the description of this video in case you want to check those out for yourself. Most of the other stuff you can just get at your local hardware store, such as the bag of lava rocks, the stainless steel hose clamps, the river pebbles, and all of those things cost me a total of $406. And as some of you know, I recently made a series of videos where I built my own DIY trash can filter for the pool pond. And I actually recently made a video on what my DIY trash can filter cost me to build. And if you are interested in seeing that video, I'll go ahead and link it down in the description below as well. But in total, it cost me about $216.77. And that price included 4 cinder blocks, 2 1-inch PVC pipes, 5 bags of lava rocks, a bag of PVC elbows, of course the 32-gallon brute trash can, a hole saw, PVC glue, 2 packs of uniseals, the Tetra pond tubing, the PVC fittings which would attach to the pond tubing, some more metal hose clamps, 6 mesh bags, a 5-gallon bucket, and PVC cutters. So the purpose of that video was to give somebody the idea of what it would cost to build a DIY trash can filter. So I included the prices of a few things that I already had, just to make the price more accurate for the average person who might not already own those things. So I am going to subtract a few things from the overall cost. The overall cost of the DIY trash can filter was $216.77, but I'm going to go ahead and subtract the cost of the PVC cutters because I already had those. I didn't buy them for the trash can filter. So we're gonna go ahead and subtract $21.59 for those. And I actually already previously included the price of the pond tubing, so I'm going to subtract the pond tubing price from the cost of the DIY trash can filter. So I'm subtracting $13.99 for the pond tubing. And when we subtract $21.59 and $13.99 from $216.77, we are left with $181.19. So when we combine the total from my original pool pond cost total, which was $406, with the cost of my DIY trash can filter, which was $181.19, that gives us a total of $587.19. But we're still not done. Some of you may remember that I made my own DIY intake bay for my pond pump. The purpose of this was to help prevent my pond pump from getting clogged, and I gotta say, it's been working pretty well. And it actually wasn't that expensive to make either. So the materials that were needed to build my DIY intake bay were a plastic tote that I bought from Target for around $5. The next thing that I needed for my DIY intake bay was some coarse filter media. The purpose of this was to prevent debris from passing through the filter media and getting stuck in my pond pump. When it came to this, I ordered it on Amazon and I didn't have a whole lot of options, so I ended up paying kind of a lot for it, and it was like a huge sheet, way more than I actually needed, but I paid $48 for that filter media. Then what I needed was this rectangular egg crate type material, although it's not really egg crate, it's actually meant for lighting fixtures, and that was $17 a sheet. Now, if you saw the video of my DIY intake bay, I actually bought 2 sheets of that egg crate stuff, but I'm not going to include the price of the second one because I haven't used it, and actually if I wanted to, I could return it to the store. So I'm just going to include the price of 1 plastic egg crate sheet. And the last thing I needed for my DIY intake bay were some zip ties. I actually already had zip ties, but I'm gonna go ahead and include that in the price here. And let's just say I paid $3 for a pack of zip ties. And when we combine the cost of those 4 things, my DIY intake bay cost me $73 to make. And when we take the total from my initial pool pond cost video, which was $406, and combine that with the total of my DIY trash can filter, which was $181.19, we get $587.19. And then when we combine that with the total of my DIY intake bay, which was $73, we get $660.19. So from start to finish, my pool pond has cost me $660.19 to build. Of course, I did not include the price of fish, but like I mentioned in my initial pool pond price video, 20-cent common goldfish are a great fish for a pool pond. So anyways, guys, I would love to know what you guys think about it. Do you think that's a lot, or do you think that's a good price? Personally, I think that's a pretty good price. And I just want to mention really quick, now that I've had my DIY trash can filter set up for a little while now, I gotta say it's made a huge difference in my algae problem. Before, I was getting a ton of string algae, a ton of blanket algae in my pool pond, but the new trash can filters seem to have completely eliminated that problem, which is awesome, because that was the whole goal of building that trash can filter in the first place. So that's how much it cost me to build my pool pond up until today. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And also guys, in next week's video, these plants will have finished their quarantine. They'll be going into the pond, so stay tuned for that. And of course guys, I do have 2 shout outs for the Aquamigos in this video. I have a shout out for DeMarco Lewis, and I have another shout out for Josh's Fish Pond. Thank you guys so much for being Aquamigos. I really appreciate the support. And if any of you guys would like a shout out in next Friday's video, I post new fish pond and aquarium videos every Friday. All you have to do is go down to the comments below and comment "I am an Aquamigo," and I will shout you out in next Friday's video. And of course, if you guys did like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much. If you would like to see more videos by me in the future, make sure to go down there and hit that subscribe button, and also hit that bell notifications button. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, I'll go ahead and put my handle right here. It's @YT_Tobias, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Peace.